to strike terror into the community. And of course, everybody reacts, and they're very fearful of being taken down by the DEA. But the realization is, proactive structuralism is winning, and the number of clubs continues to increase that are cash operations, and as long as they're not regulated, they're going to be springing up and meeting the needs of this cash market, because it's a drug that is safe, it's a drug that's effective, and people have recognized that it's less toxic and better for managing many chronic conditions than the mainstream medicines. And with the recent revelations of Vioxx, it's becoming even more attractive because of the dropping credibility of Big Farm trying to cover up adverse effects. And
I mean, but isn't big business always going to control the media, and the media tells the sheeple what to think?
Yes and no. The way Howard Becker in his book in 1950, I think, word of mouth is much more effective than the efforts to manipulate people through the advertising. And if anything, they're building up higher and higher level of appropriate skepticism with their direct marketing and saying, ask your doctor. And the more of these adverse reactions that take place, the more this is happening. I mean, I believe that I'm a victim of lovastatin poisoning. Really? Yes. That's a
documented clinical effect.
No, it's not documented, but I believe that my two adenocarcinomas, one in my liver and one in my lung, are the end products of irritation to the cholangolytic system and the endothelium that I saw mentioned in an article written 5 years ago that would indicate this chronic irritation could be behind all of this, because before I suffered obstructive jaundice from constriction of my common bile duct from the cancer, that I was having symptoms a year and a half before that of Raynaud's phenomena, dyspepsia, particular Raynaud's, and cold sensitivity, and itching, generalized itching. A year and a half before the enzymes spiked on my liver, and I stopped the lovastatin. It's been over 75 days since that time, and I'm only now being free of some of the adverse effects from the statin, which happens to be subjectively very much like a python operating at an imperceptibly slow rate, grabbing my internal physiologic responses. I'm certified in biofeedback training, and so I'm aware of how to cognitively exert control over peripheral relaxation of my vasculature and increasing or changing the circulatory pattern. I couldn't do this during this period of influence by the statin. And only now has it imperceptibly released its grip upon my physiology. and I'm hoping that this will either slow the cancer or keep it from moving forward. But I'm facing all this ambiguity. Cannabis helps. Cannabis has helped me get through the GI dysfunction, especially, with helping me with my appetite and to eat normally. But that's where I am right now.
Well, our best wishes are with you, and I don't know, I expect you're going to get better.
I do too. Scary thing
tough.
is that I've met a couple patients in my practice that are maintaining on the statins that have exactly the same symptom complex. The persistent sensitivity to cold, the itching, and diminished appetite. I'm pleased to say that my weight has improved. I've put on 10 pounds since stopping the statins. It had dropped 30 pounds to being 165 pounds, and now I'm up to about 175.
All right.
Well, I hope to be around next time you come out here, or I come back there.
Great.
Or we meet at another normal confab.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mikuriya, and for this and for everything you've done for the movement over the years.
Well, I'm pleased to have not let it. Almost did.
The list, Merck and all Squab and all the big pharmaceutical companies, they're all represented at these conferences because they all have researchers studying cannabis. They're the happiest researchers ever, and I'll tell you one thing they always tell you, we need more research. Like, yeah, you guys are awfully happy. I'm sure you want to keep researching cannabis forever. It sounds fun to me too. And one thing I noticed at this conference too is the difference between the tasters and the non-tasters, and I think in that particular group of people, there's quite a few tasters, even people you wouldn't imagine, you know, because some people taste their test subjects and some people don't. But anyway, so I guess we're going to start our panel. I'll turn it over to Philippe Lucas from Canada. He runs the Vancouver Island Compassion Society and is the representative of American for Safe Access up in Canada, and he can introduce the rest of the panelists. Let's hear for Philippe.
Thank you so much, Evan, for all the great work that you continue to do. And yes, I want to admit right away, I am what another researcher I know called John McPartland would call a dipper. So yeah, for me, medical cannabis is not just an area of research. I'm a legal medical cannabis user as well. I'm founder and director of the Vancouver Island Compassion Society, founder of Canadians for Safe Access, and I'm currently director of communications for DrugSense as well. In 1996, California voters passed Proposition 215, and in doing so, they not only showed great compassion to critically and chronically ill Californians, they also overturned the total monopoly over the development and distribution of modern medicine overseen by pharmaceutical drug companies for nearly 100 years. By legalizing medicine for the people and by the people, the state of California not only created a new paradigm for public access to medical substances, but also an incredible opportunity to increase our understanding into the therapeutic potential of cannabis. With an estimated 200,000 people in California accessing cannabis for medical purposes, forward-thinking members of the medical and scientific community have started to grasp the significant potential for research created by this unique legal and regulatory climate. And many have begun to design protocols around what is surely becoming the largest open-label safety and efficacy trial of an herbal substance in the history of modern medicine. Today we're going to hear from 3 California physicians who are on the cutting edge of community-based cannabis research, and then I'll share with you the results of the first ever Compassion Club-based study to be published in a peer-reviewed Elsevier-listed medical journal. These are just a few of the emerging